Hello and welcome to Noggin Comics. Today we're going to be talking about part 2 of a dollar comic haul at Mind's Eye Comics. Now it's been a month or two since part 1. Been busy. If you watched previous videos, you know we've been busy. But before we hop into this, let's talk about what's on my head again. Surly Brewery. We are having Comics and Kegs on Sunday, May 18th. So, maybe 2 days before this goes live, or after this goes live. 30 vendors, 20 plus beer, something like that. I may have got mixed up. The information is in the last video we shared. We are super excited for that. The Minnesota Comic Exchange, Comics and Kegs at Surly Brewing on May 18th. We're going to be there. We're going to be filming all that fun stuff. But let's get to the fun of this episode. We're going to be talking about comics that relate to Marvel Rivals, X-Men, and just some random books. So these first couple books are actually my main in Marvel Rivals. And in the comment section, let me know if you play Marvel Rivals. We're looking for more people to play with. That community is extremely toxic, but we would love to play with more people and rank up ourselves. But yeah, my main is Cloak and Dagger. And I know it's easy, but I like being a healer. And sometimes I like playing DPS. But yeah, so Strange Tales number 4 from July of 1983. Strange Tales number 8 from November of 1983. Strange Tales number 9 from December of 1987. It keeps going. Strange Tales number 10 from 1988. Strange Tales 11 from 1988. Strange Tales 12. Then we skipped a few. This is 15. Strange Tales 15, Cloak and Dagger and Doctor Strange. 16. Strange Tales 16. And then Strange Tales 18. And the last one is Strange Tales 19 with a Mike Mignola cover. If you can see that. But yeah, I had to get those because those, like I said, Cloak and Dagger is my main. And I kind of want to read more Cloak and Dagger. I haven't watched the show. So it's one of those characters where, two characters, where we want to know more about. So that's why we got these. And hopefully we're going to get more trays and more Cloak and Dagger stuff. In a future comic haul, there's more Cloak and Dagger that you will see. And then this next one, I have recently fell in love with this character. With Fantastic Four First Steps coming out, I've been diving into Fantastic Four stuff, and Ben Grimm, the Thing, has become like one of my favorite characters recently. So I had to, this is the Thing 15, and the funniest thing is, like, we went to Mind's Eye Comics like 2 months ago. This comic haul has been sitting for 2 months, and I hadn't started reading Fantastic Four, but that was $1. All these books were $1, so it was kind of like, well, I guess it's worth it. And now I've fallen in love with the Thing, and I've got to keep reading it. This is a fun one here, and this is something that Nora is not a fan of, but I am. And that is 1990s X-Force, X-Men, Youngbloods, that Image Revolution type of stuff. This is X-Force Youngblood number 1 from 1996. Covered by Stephen Platt. I actually kind of want to talk about this book in the future episode, so I look forward to reading that. This book caught me off guard. It was one of the situations that I think that minds I didn't realize what they had in their dollar set, or they liked watching people find books like this. This is from 1975, and this is The Mighty Thor 240. As you can see, there's a little damage up there. But it's the first appearance of Sess. So, besides that damage up top and some rip on the over there, the book was pretty good for a book. Now, for all of us that are huge Marvel fans, most likely we all watched Daredevil Born Again. And maybe spoilers, but the Punisher's in it. And from the sounds, we'll be getting a Punisher's Marvel special coming up. So we had to get the Origin of Microchip, number 1. I gotta find number 2. It's not in this haul. But Punisher number 1, the Origin of Microchip. We got a lot of reading to do this summer. I'm looking forward to it. This is another fun book. And this is from 1998. This is X-Men and Wildcats, The Dark Age. And believe it or not, we actually started finding a lot of these. And even at one point, Nora got to the point she's like, yeah, just buy them. Because I think she's intrigued to read these as well. And talking about Nora's interest and our interest, this is a perfect time to talk about another show that we talked about in our last video, and that's the Uncanny Experience. That's happening this July. And we had the X-Men books, color of it. So we have X-Men, the Hellfire Club number 1. This is from 1999. Number 2. And I love the Sinister cover. Number 3. And like I said, some of these books that were in the dollar bins at Mind's Eye, at the time he had all his books, all the comics for $1. And I think he still has it going on. But, we found some horror titles. 1977 and 76 horror titles, and we had to get them. This is Ghost 53. I'm looking at the back of it. Originally, he had it priced at $5. Same with this one. This was originally $5. This is Ghostly Haunts, number 52. This was $4, but for $1, this is Ghostly Tales, 122. You've already seen some X-Men, you've seen some X-Force, so it's not surprising that we have more X-Men in this haul. This is Uncanny X-Men 331 from 1996. Iceman versus Generation X White Queen. And then this is another, just the X-Men the movie prequel, Rogue. Rogue's one of our favorite characters. I don't like what they did to her in the movies. I'm hoping that the MCU really turns Rogue into the character she should be. This is a book that Nora picked up because she loves the cover. This is She-Hulk number 12 from 2005 or 2015. This is X-Force number 1 from 2014, which we had no clue about. But, for $1, you really can't say no. And the next 3 books here. Well, let's actually wait for those 3 books. This is New Avengers 13 from 2016. I've always been a fan of Jeffrey Vergee. He recently passed away. Amazing artist, indigenous, Native American artist. Every time I see a cover of his stuff, I always gotta pick it up. We were not reading New Avengers, but seeing this cover, and there's like one of the first books I threw in that pile. Same as this one, What If Astonishing X-Men. The bag's beat up. I don't know if you can see it. The bag's a little chipped. but the comic itself's in good condition. It's from 2010. If you've been playing Marvel Rivals, like you've been playing as Emma Frost, don't kid yourself. So I can't wait until we add Cyclops and Jean Grey and all the other X-Men to that game. Now the last 3 books of this, two-parter Dollarhoff and Mindside Comics. It kind of goes into what we've been recently collecting. We've been collecting comic books based off of horror films, and this is The Mummy, the rise and fall of Eggo Axe. Nice Brendan Fraser cover there. Then you have issue 2 and issue 3. So yeah, that was part 2 of Mind's Eye Dollar Comic Haul. Mind's Eye Comics is now in Burnsville Center. I believe they have the deal still going on. I don't know if they're $1, but I know he's got deals going on his comic books. He's got a lot going on. If you are in the Burnsville Center, check out the shop. You're gonna find some comics to fill holes. I can tell you that. But yeah, we've got some comic calls from some comic shows we went to for Comic Book Day, and then, like I said, we're gonna be filming some content at Comics and Kegs at Surly Brewing on May 18th. It's the MCE's Mr. Comic Exchange first show outside of Valley Creek Mall. We are so excited for this show, and there's so much that we are wanting to do with Noggin and the Minnesota Comic Exchange that I know we're not producing as much content as we want to, but the goal is to continue producing content, and I hope that you continue to stay here. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure this channel stays alive. We've got blogs going. We're going to start at Twitch. Noggin Comics is going to be here for the long haul, and so is Minnesota Comic Exchange. But in the comment section, let me know, are you playing Marvel Rivals and who is your main? But until then, see you at the comic shop.